On site at the 2022 Saudi Tour, the second edition wrapped up today here in Aula, Old Town. In this area hosted the 5-day stage race, and today Dylan Groenewegen won his second of 2 stages in this stage race and capped off a beautiful 5-day race. Dylan Groenewegen took the sprint win ahead of Dan McClay, the British rider from Team Arkea Samsic, and third was Davide Ballerini from Team Quickstep. But if we roll it back 140 kilometers, it was a hard-fought day. It may not have looked that way on television, but it was tough out there. The winds were not as hard as they have been in the few days, but the riders truly had to fight. We saw 4 riders in an escape that tried to make their way clear, and they held on for some time, including a Quickstep rider, Stama, and the Greek rider, always the Greek rider from Team Kuwait. He attacked, but it came to nothing. It was a day for the sprinters, and Team Bike Exchange with the Texan Lawson Craddock was drilling on the front, and Dylan Groenewegen knew that he could rely on his lead-out man, super lead-out man, Luka Meshkic, and things started to look even better when Caleb Ewan, the winner stage 1 super sprinter, had a puncture, unfortunately, in that final 10 kilometers. There was no way for Caleb to get back on, and he also lost that red points jersey. So we switched back over to the sprinters, and the sprint was coming in to the final kick just right over here on the other side of the Old Town. And it was a beautiful run in, but it got a bit rough and tough. With around 5 kilometers out, we heard from Lawson Craddock that explained the situation. Also, Dan McClay explained the situation. He said he lost a little bit of his momentum in that time, and he needed all the momentum he could have if he was going to have a shot to try to upset Dylan Groenewegen here in the Old Town. But there was no way to do so because Dylan Groenewegen was celebrating in his second stage victory for what is essentially the home team. It's an Australian team, but they got Aula, the sponsor, on their team as of last year, so it was a big thing for them to come here and win not 1, but 2 stages. Let's talk for a minute about the overall winner, the Belgian Maxime van Gils, who won atop of the stage yesterday at the Harrod viewpoint. Well, today he defended that green leader's jersey, and it was a big coup for the 22-year-old because yesterday was his first professional win, and today he wraps up his first classification win, so chapeau to him. You might have seen Bahrain Victorious doing a lot of the muscle work in the final kilometers. It wasn't for a lead-out sprint as far as I could tell. It was to protect Santiago Buitrago's second overall, and they did so. He was 36 seconds back in the overall, but Rui Costa was right there behind him at 48 seconds from UAE, so they had to keep things together, and they didn't want Rui Costa to get any bonus sprint classification seconds. So there it was. That's your final top 3 with Maxime van Gils on the podium. Second goes to Santiago Buitrago, Rui Costa rounding out the podium. Third overall, Dylan Groenewegen winning his second of 2 stages as we close out the second edition of the Saudi Tour.